Welcome to the Speak Your Way to Cash podcast, a podcast where we teach speakers how to land paid speaking engagements and corporate contracts. Each week, we deliver high-quality content that teaches you how to level up your speaking business. Be sure to join the Speak Your Way to Cash Facebook group after having your mind blown by this information-filled episode. Now, here's your host, Ashley Kirkwood, lawyer and professional speaker. This is the Speak Your Way to Cash podcast.
Hey guys, it's Ashley Kirkwood with Speak Your Way to Cash. I'm super excited because today I have the Scholarship Momma in, Theresa Harris, who is the #1 scholarship expert in the world on her way to hitting all the stages. She's also a former Speak Your Way to Cash alum 2 times over. So we have Theresa on today. She's going to talk about her company and how she was able to implement, because I train a lot of speakers and I want you all to hear from those who've taken the program, had success, but I want you to hear specifically how they implement at the level that they're at and how they're continuing to grow. So Theresa, welcome to Speak Your Way to Cash.
Ashley, thank you for having me.
Of course. Thanks for being here. I'm so excited. So for those who don't know yet, who is the Scholarship Momma? How did you get started? And tell us a little bit about your brand.
All right. So I am a college financial aid advisor, and I have helped hundreds, if not thousands, of students and parents save hundreds and thousands of dollars on their college tuition bills. I got started because sitting in a financial aid office, I realized that our students were borrowing a lot of loans, and I wanted to help out. So I serve youth organizations. I talk to youth organizations about how to fund their college careers, specifically scholarships. And that's how I got started about maybe a good 2 years ago.
That is awesome. And when did you decide to make speaking a key element of your business?
Actually, I've been speaking quite a bit. This is maybe a good year ago. Actually, when I came to your program, I started implementing it then, and I decided that I wanted more. So it was a thought, and then I said, well, let me go full circle. So I say about a good year and a half ago or so.
Awesome. And then what made you decide to attend Speak Your Way to Cash?
Actually, to be honest with you, Ashley, I didn't know of a program here in Chicago that I can attend to talk, how do you start your speaking business? And I watched you on Facebook. People were tagging me in your Facebook posts because I had talked to a lot of people about being a speaker. And as I was watching you, I was like, I need to get in that room because I know what to do. I didn't know where to start. I wanted to be a speaker, but I didn't know how to start. I didn't know what to do. So that's why I came to Speak Your Way to Cash. Not once, but twice.
Right. Yeah. Teresa's come to both of the live events. So that is awesome. And at the first event, explain kind of the experience. So for someone who's never attended, they're trying to get a feel for what is this event? How would you describe it?
They're very resourceful. So the event was full of information. I mean, we learned about branding. We had a branding expert there. We also learned about, tips about speaking, about media pitches, even how to write emails. It was a full event that consists of a lot of information. So we learned quite a bit during our first Speak Your Way to Cash event.
And what was your biggest takeaway from the event? And
my biggest takeaway was implementing. And so before I came to Speak Your Way to Cash event, I had no systems in place. I didn't know what to do. I didn't know where to start. So I wanted to implement some of the processes that were shared at Speak Your Way to Cash. And the first thing I implemented, like a day to do follow-ups or a day to email or a day to call. None of that I had prior to coming to Speak Your Way to Cash.
Okay, awesome. That's good. And I'm glad that you actually took that away, because this episode and what we're talking about today, guys, for those of you listening, it's not just about how great Speak Your Way to Cash is, even though it's great and you should come. We're talking about how you implement. So Theresa, before coming, didn't have all these systems in place. And now I feel like I see you posting about speaking somewhere every week. And she shares a lot of her wins in the Speak Your Way to Cash Facebook group, which is free, so anyone can join that. But So you go to these events. A lot of you have taken courses, maybe even from other speaking coaches besides myself. And the hardest part is like when you leave all the good vibes, you leave all the great energy. We had so much fun at the event. But that first day, that Monday after the event, after the weekend is over, after all the hype wears off, what did you do first to get started in building your speaking business?
So what I did, actually, one of the things that you shared too is we needed a customer relationship management system, a CRM system, so HubSpot. So I signed up for that. You shared that. I signed up for that. So I wrote all of that down to have a plan. I guess you could say I had a plan on what I was going to do on each day.
Definitely. So you mentioned that you had a CRM, because I think you cut off a little bit. So you said that you got your CRM and you figured out what you were going to do each day to grow your speaking business. Is that right?
That's correct.
Okay, perfect. And tell us about how you received your first lead after the event. So the first person that received your email and agreed to get on the phone with you, who was that and what was that experience like?
So I received it from a school, not legal prep, I'm sorry. Actually, it was Longwood Charter School. So I received it from a school, and it was exciting. What can I say? It's a feeling like none other.
So did you pitch them?
I did pitch them. I sent them an email and I pitched them. I was working with some of the charter schools here in Chicago, so I didn't want to limit myself to Chicago public schools. I wanted to work with other schools like charter schools, as well as private schools. And so I pitched them. I went out and I did a FAFSA night for them, and I met their students and their parents. And basically, it was an interactive session. I helped them complete the FAFSA, walk through that whole process. It was great. It was thrilling. It was satisfying. I'm passionate about that, and I loved it.
What's really interesting about your business is you can get paid to speak, but you also can use speaking as a way to generate leads for your consulting business, because you also have consulting services for private clients. Is that right?
That is correct.
So do you use it in both ways each time, or do you kind of have a pitch that you do at the end of your speeches to get those parents to convert to clients? How do you handle that?
So I do a pitch. You are correct. Yeah, I do a pitch at the end of the speech just to let them know that I do find scholarships for families. My goal is to save families hundreds, if not thousands of dollars on their tuition bills. And I tell them scholarships is one of them. I also share with families too during my workshops that student loan debt is at $1.5 trillion. I'm really surprised how much college is, to be honest with you, but how much student loan debt is as well. And so those clients want to know more. And if they do, that's a great opportunity for me to talk about my consulting service as well.
That's awesome. So can you talk about the first time you had to tell a client your speaking fee? How did that conversation go? Were you nervous? Were they receptive? Did you negotiate? Because a lot of folks are thinking, I know for a fact, like I'm comfortable talking money. But one of the things that we discuss at Speak Your Way to Cash is you have to have a rate. If you don't ask for it, they'll just assume that it's going to be free every single time. And they will be more than happy to let you come and speak for free. So how has that conversation been with your niche, which is really high schools? And how have you been able to tackle that?
Great question, Ashley. So to be honest with you, I was real scared. I was afraid, I think, to pitch pricing because that was something I had never done before. So that was new territory. And I learned it in Speak Your Way to Cash about the value of what you have to offer. So when I pitched the price, I was honestly, my stomach was hurting. It was painful, but it didn't take me long to get over that after several times of saying, price and how much it was, that the pain went away. So it was painful.
Thank you for being honest about that, because sometimes, if you've been in it a little bit like myself, you forget how scary that can be for people and they're like, yeah, I want to get paid to speak, but I kind of want them to just hand me a check. I don't really want to ask them to pay me to speak. Hey guys, it's Ashley Kirkwood here, and I know this is an amazing interview. And if you are someone who is interested in taking your speaking career to the next level, then do I have something for you? Okay, I need you to go to ashleynicolekirkwood.com/SYWTC live replay. That's ashleynicolekirkwood.com/SYWTC live replay. The link is also in the show notes that you can grab the Speak Your Way to Cash live replay, which has 7 modules, a ton of information about how you can start speaking your way to cash. Now, this training is absolutely action-packed, phenomenal. It has additional resources. It has templates. It has a podcast pitch template, a college pitch template, something you can send to media outlets to get on television. It has everything you need to develop a sales strategy, a press strategy, and a plan to skyrocket your speaking career. And it is crazy affordable, okay? So head on over there right now, ashleynicolekirkwood.com/SYWTC live replay, and grab your copy today. All right, let's get back to this interview. And I know you talk a lot about being a solution speaker, and now not only are you working with high schools, but you've reached out to some of the TRIO organizations. Is that right? Or Gear Up?
Yes. I've had the opportunity to work with Upward Bound, the TRIO organization. That is fantastic. I've did a workshop for them, a financial aid workshop. Actually, it was a scholarship workshop. I stand corrected. And I did a scholarship workshop for the TRIO group, and that was fantastic. I've had an opportunity to work with them as well. So the federal government I've worked with.
Yes, that's amazing. It all happened so fast. So for folks who are like, okay, well, you attend the event, you get the information. How long will it take until I get my first actual lead or someone picks up the phone and speaks with me? Do you remember how long it took you from attending the event and getting the info to that first time that someone was willing to hop on a call with you and bring you in? What was that time span like?
It was a good 6 months. And I say that, and the reason why, because mostly I was receiving emails.
Yeah.
Clear, but mostly people wanted me to speak for free. And a lot of times it wasn't in Chicago. It was very, it was in some cases it was out of the state or state. And so those speaking events I really didn't go for because
good.
Yeah.
No, that's good. And I like that you said 6 months. So I do believe it's one of those things that it builds on each other. So it takes consistent action over time. And one of the things that I told folks who attended the event is you want to make sure that you are prepared to invest in your business. It doesn't take long to blow up after you've already put in all the work and all the building blocks and everything has been there. And my first year in business, we brought in over six figures, but we were over the $100,000 mark. But the first 5 months of 2019, we brought in almost zero. That entire 6-figure amount came from the last 6 to 7 months of the year. And so I tell people though, but it was what I did the first 5 months that made the last 6 months so successful. And now we're a couple weeks into January and we've already beat our biggest month in 2019.
That's awesome.
So it builds. And guess what? I have not had to pitch for the engagements and the opportunities that I've gotten this year because of all the work and all the pitching that I did last year. So you have to really let it build. If you can invest 6 months, if you can do the work, you will get a reward. And for everyone, it is different. Some people will get a win after a couple weeks. We had a girl, we'll have her on the podcast. I think she gets 7 engagements within a couple months, within 2 months of the event. But every market is different. High school is different. You got to think about the summertime. You got to think about winter breaks, spring breaks. All of that factors into how you're going to do your pitching. So this is really phenomenal. So you went to the first Speak Your Way to Cash and you started implementing and then you decided to come back. So what made you come back to the second Speak Your Way to Cash?
It was so informative, Ashley. And when you said it was a part 2, I was like, this is exciting because it was more information to learn. And, so I wanted to learn the part 2 of it. And part two was outstanding. Part two was outstanding when you brought in the sales panel. Your dad, shall I say?
Yeah.
Was there, and having some brand Sarita Success Junkie was there.
Mm-hmm.
And so, and I think you had one more person. I can't remember her name.
Natalie Rochelle.
Yeah, Natalie. So just bringing in the additional resources for us, because like you said, the speaking business, there's a lot to learn. And that part two was just a totally different setup from part one. And we learned more as well. Yeah, so that's the reason why I came back. I wanted to know more.
Yes. And that's a sign of someone who's going to be successful. You guys, you have to keep learning, because I learn every day. I do the podcast for you, for the community, for the Speaker Ready to Cash community, but I do it a lot for me too. I'm always interviewing speakers. We all have our different strategies. And so we just launched this is our 42nd episode. So there's a lot of knowledge on this podcast that you all can glean from a lot of different speakers who have different styles than myself. I have a very, I would say, aggressive style when it comes to building my businesses. Like, I pitch people. I ask them for the sale. Like, I don't wait for referrals. I don't depend on that. I'm like, okay, who am I asking for some sales today? Like, who am I pitching? Who am I getting in front of? Some people don't have that aggressive of a style. So I like to interview different speakers on here, but it is really, really, really important. So what advice would you give to someone who's on the fence? They're like, I don't know if I can invest in myself. I don't know if it'll work for me. Is this speaking thing real? Like, can I actually get paid to speak? They just don't believe they can do it because they've never done it. What would you say to them as someone who's had like a lot of success this or last year, and you're going to have even more this year?
Absolutely. I would say go for it. You can definitely get paid to speak. I know that there are some reservations with some of us who use my cell phone to record. I think as we grow in our speaking business, of course, we'll get better. But I would just say go for it. Go for it. You can get paid to speak. And believe it or not, Ashley, when I got my first check, I didn't even deposit it. I could not. I was just still in awe. I held on it for a few days because I was like, this is unbelievable.
No, I love it. I love it.
Hey guys, it's your host, Ashley Kirkwood. As many of you know, I'm also an attorney, but did you know that I own a law firm called Mobile General Counsel? This quick commercial is brought to you by Mobile General Counsel, the law firm for speakers and entrepreneurs. We help you bulletproof your brand with contracts and trademarks. Every speaker knows the importance of having a solid contract. Did you also know that it is equally as important that once you develop that rock star signature speech, you get it trademarked, meaning you can then prevent other speakers from using the title of your signature speech all across the country. Trademarking is something that we do at our firm, and we do it for a flat fee, and we even have different payment arrangements based on your actual budget. So please do give us a call at 312-880-8518 or head on over to mobilegeneralcounsel.com and book a consultation today. That's mobilegeneralcounsel.com and book a consultation today. Talk to you soon.
In 2020, well, this year, we are going to do a speaker's retreat. And we're giving first invite only to folks who attend the Speak Your Way to Cash, either online or in person. So I know that that's going to be off the chain. It's 2 days. It's going to be great. It's just going to be even more information. And it's going to be higher level strategy. So we can start figuring out like using snail mail, using Facebook ads, really going even deeper than we have before to get leads. Because that's the only way we're going to grow, if we can automate and expand.
Yes. Well, I can't wait to that retreat.
Yes, it's going to be great. We're going to release it early so everyone has more than enough time to plan. So, Theresa, I mean, you've given so many great tips. I think this is going to be amazing for speakers who are just like on the fence, who don't know if they can go from zero to booked, and they can. So what can we expect from you this year? What are your goals this year? How many engagements do you want to do this year? What's next for Scholarship Momma?
Oh, awesome question. So I would like to do actually about 50 speaking engagements today. This year, a combination of workshops and speaking engagements as well. my goal is to do at least like 4 a month. I got one coming up right now, the Prom and College Expo. I'm really excited about that. And I have some more speaking engagements lined up for the rest of the year as well.
Well, I'm sure you'll be super successful this year. I can't wait. I love seeing your wins and you posting your engagements and posting how you're working with these folks and being a solution speaker, which was a really big takeaway.
Definitely.
Yeah, no, this is awesome. I'm so excited for you. And I'm so glad that we started this brand because we weren't going to do it. I just kept getting asked like, oh, how are you getting booked? How are you doing this? And I was like, okay, I could teach this. Like, but we originally didn't know whether or not this was a path we were going to go down because we were so busy building our business. But it's been really rewarding seeing you all flourish in this way and helping to diversify the speaking world. We need more women speakers, more women of color speakers, more folks with diverse voices. So this is really an honor for me. So thank you for supporting and thank you for implementing because that is a big one. Where can we find Scholarship Momma? If there's someone listening who has kids who are about to go to school, or even if you have little kids, I know you said, I actually hired Theresa to speak for our nonprofit, and she mentioned that you can get scholarships even when you're in first grade. So how would the parents listening get in touch with you and hire you to work with Scholarship Momma?
Great question. Thank you so much, Ashley. So you can email me at info@Scholarship Momma. Now, Scholarship Momma is SCHOLARSHIPMOMMA. That's Mama. So info@scholarshipmomma.com. I'm also on Facebook. Scholarship Momma has a Facebook page at scholarshipmomma.com. And I'm also on Instagram. I am Scholarship Momma is my Instagram handle. Yep, you can email me. And also you can call me. My number is 312-487-1694. And I'll definitely get back with you.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Theresa, for joining us on the Speak Your Way to Cash podcast and giving the Speak Your Way to Cash family all these great tips. Guys, reach out to her, okay? Whether it be scholarships, whether you want some advice, Theresa is an awesome person to stay connected with. And it sounds like she may be coming to the retreat. So if you want to meet her in person, then join us at the Speak Your Way to Cash retreat in October 2020. You can find out information about that at ashleynicolekirkwood.com/2020 retreat. So I'll talk to you guys soon. And I'm out.
All right, wasn't that interview amazing? If you're anything like me, you have pages full of notes. But here's the thing. Before you head out, I want you to go to facebook.com and join the Speak Your Way to Cash Facebook group. That is where I am. That's where a ton of other speakers are, a ton of other people who listen to the show. We all congregate there and chat. And it's 100% free. Now, if you're ready to take your speaking career to the next level, I have 2 ways for you to do that. One, you can go to ashleynicolekirkwood.com/SYWTC live replay and pick up the live replay. That training is 7 modules, chock full of information. It's crazy. Go over there, read all about it. Or if you want a more personal experience, you already know that you want to be a speaker. You're ready to fully commit and you want someone to walk you through it and save you tons of time Googling and doing it on your own, then book a VIP day with me. You can go to ashleynicolekirkwood.com, scroll down until you see the VIP day section and get more information on that there. All right. Thank you guys again for watching. Please do not forget to leave us a review. That is how we keep this train rolling and get some of the best speakers in the world to get on this show. So please, please, please leave a review. Shoot me a message on Facebook or Instagram, and Facebook in the Speak Your Way to Cash group, Instagram at the Ashley Nicole Show. And I'd be more than happy to chat with you and say hi. All right, y'all have an awesome, awesome day.